Hello, YouTube. All right. So I swear I was early at one point, but I am one of those people that if I am ready a second earlier than I need to be to get someplace or do something, I'm like, I don't know. I don't really understand it, but that's how it works. So, and I swear every time I screw up my camera, I don't know about that either. I don't understand it. All right, so I think we're good. We're left. All right. I don't know why I'm very discombobulated. Probably because the summer is just really messy for my weekends. I don't know. What happens, but something's wrong. Something's off in summertime. So it's been a very gray couple of weeks here. So I thought we would make some of our own sunshine. So we'll be a bit more active today. A lot of front body openers. And work into some fun poses maybe toward the end. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. So remember, if you want something a little more tame, if you want to make it more challenging, certainly fit things in as you're ready for it. One quick thing I want to remind everyone of is that if you do have a favorite pose or a must-have stretch, I would love to hear about it. I'm trying to put some things together, and any feedback you have would be delightful. Because I know how my body is, right? But we're all very different, right? We all have different challenges. So what my body needs every day might be a little different than yours. Especially if you've had an injury or if you've got what's the word I want to use? I want to say disability. I don't really mean that, but like bad knees or something like that. A situation that you have to work around, right? So, just holler out and let me know what you think. So, let's go ahead and get started then. Bringing the heels to align with the groin as much as you can, and then moving your bottom out of the way so you can sit upright on the pelvis. Dropping the shoulders, lifting the chest. Okay, we're going to do lots of that today. So relax into your hips as much as you can. Imagine lifting the pelvic floor up, the lower belly's in and up. We're tall through the sides of the body, but relax through those shoulders. Go ahead and close your eyes here. Bringing the bottom tips of the ears back until you feel that perfect alignment, right? Your neck will kind of go, ah. And then just be here for a moment and take a second to check out what feels good, right? And then what's maybe not so great this morning, things you need to stretch or maybe areas that you need to be a little careful with. Keep that in your mind as we move through our practice. We're going to begin focusing on the breath and just for a moment, see if you can just watch what it does. Usually when you start to pay attention to it, you change it, right? But as much as possible anyway. And remember that we want to breathe all through the nose. Today anyway. Allowing that breath to expand. Finding that place that is just a little bit beyond comfortable. And maintain that breath no matter what else. If you can't breathe in a pose, it's no good. So let's go ahead and take the arms out to the sides, and with the inhale, stretch them up to the ceiling. And then exhale, taking them back down. Take the whole breath in, lifting. Back down, exhaling. One more time like that. Back to the top, inhale. Exhale the right hand back to the mat. Give yourself a little tip to that side, keeping the pelvis level on the floor. Big breath here, opening up the right side of the body. And then back to center with the next inhale. Take it to the left. Big breath. And then back to center. Once more over to the right. Maybe intensifying the stretch, maybe not if you're not ready. And then back up to the middle. Last time to the left. Back to center. And then release the arms. So a little twist here, taking the right hand over to the left knee, left hand behind the body. Just gentle and easy, no big deal. Relaxing through your hips, lengthen your spine. Nice big breath. Releasing that side, coming through the center and to your second side. Coming back through the middle, back to the first side, making it a little bit deeper this time. So really use that left hand behind your back, pressing into the floor to sit extra tall. And then the right hand can kind of pull against the leg here. Imagine rotating from the belly button, turning the side ribs, turning the shoulder, maybe turning your face and even your eyeballs. And still maybe not crazy deep yet. Releasing that one back through the center. Second side, again, a little deeper this time, using the floor to lift you, pulling against the leg to twist a little deeper. Listen to your body. And then release it back to the middle again. So here we're going to take the fingers behind the lower back, interlacing. Pull the shoulders together on the back, and then knuckles to the floor. And here it's probably easy, right? But maybe. Hinge forward. And keep that idea of the knuckles reaching away from the shoulders, right? So you may or may not still be touching the floor. You can lift your hands away from your lower back if you like. But again, think shoulder blades together, knuckles stretching away. Even as you hinge forward into the hip here. Big breaths. We're going to inhale gently. Before you release your fingers, think about which thumb you have on top back there. Right? And then release the hands. Switch which foot you put in front. We don't do this often enough, right? So, might feel a little different. Might feel a little strange. We're going to re-interlace the fingers with the other thumb on top. Right? So again, a little strange. Knuckles stretch away, shoulders pull toward each other, and we hinge forward here. And this might feel very different, right? Or at least weirder. Stranger. And then inhaling, bring yourself back up to the top. Go ahead and release your fingers. Stretch out the legs. Take them straight out here. You can bounce them and wiggle a little bit here if that feels good. And then extending out long. Right? Flex your feet so your toes are pointing at the ceiling. Still even on the seat, so if you need to make adjustments, please do. Stretching the arms up here. And then hinging forward, let's come over into a fold. And for a moment anyway, let yourself just kind of sag into it, right? Feel your lower back round, your shoulders round. Maybe you can just drop your head. If you need a little bend in your knees, certainly take a little bend in your knees here. But just be loose and relaxed about the whole thing. And let's make it a little more yoga. So really flexing your feet. Imagine pressing out through the big toe, pulling the pinky toe side back. You're going to set your hip bones, send them back to the wall behind you. They don't actually move, but that's the action, right? In your brain anyway. And then lift your chest, drop your shoulders down and back. Maybe your hands can touch your toes, maybe they don't touch your toes, don't worry about that either, right? Just a nice deep fold here. Well, what's a deep fold for now anyway? We'll take one more breath. And then with the next inhale, bring it all the way up again. And release the arms. From here, over onto all fours. So wrists under shoulders as much as possible. Spread the fingers nice and wide, even on the four corners of the hands. Knees under the hips. Just starting with a little bit of cat-cow, then inhale the belly toward the floor. And exhale to round the spine toward the ceiling. So you're going to follow your breath in and out like that. One more flow. And then back to the middle. And instead of being a tabletop, go ahead and move into kneeling plank. So hands forward or knees back, however you make it happen. Or both, maybe. Shoulders neutral on the back, the belly's pulled in, so your bum's not sticking up or hanging down. Either way. Stay on the knees if you prefer, or lift the knees away from the floor and simply hold position. So if your legs are straight, press through your heels as if your body was standing up. And then let's go ahead and lift it to our first down dog here. So wiggling, stretching, moving, shifting, whatever you need to do. Try and keep the hands and feet equally as far apart as they are in your plank. Those two should be fairly seamless. Allowing yourself to settle in. Pressing away from the floor with the arms. Shoulders are neutral on the back. Pressing the heels to the floor without locking or hyperextending at the knee. And then from here, Take your left foot, your big and second toe, straddling the right Achilles tendon there. So right above your heel. And then imagine pressing down. And your heel might touch the floor then. It may still not, but you'll feel a little extra stretch, yes? Release that side. And then switch, taking your right big and second toe, pressing that left heel a little bit closer to the mat. And then release that side. Sinking both heels toward the floor. Maybe they're a little deeper this time, maybe not. Instead of sinking the heels, come up on the toes. Keep the hands even on the mat, and then drop the heels over to the left. Press hard into that right hand. Big stretch all the way up that right side. From here, the right hand to the hip, hips level, or what's the word I want? Aligned with the shoulders and the heels. So a side plank. You can always drop the left knee to the floor if you need it. Release it back to your down dog. And we'll do the same thing to the second side. So up on the toes, heels drop right, keeping the left hand on the floor for a moment. And then left hand to the hip, into side plank, modify it if you need to modify it. Back to down dog. And down to child's pose. So back into down dog. And then with the breath here, shift forward on an inhale into your plank. Knees if you need knees. Exhale back to down dog. Back and forth like that a few more times. Slow and smooth with your breath. Let's go once more. When you're back to your down dog, go ahead and drop on down to the knees and another brief little child's pose. Back to down dog. You don't get big rests until the end, right? So from our down dog here, we're going to lift the right leg, keeping the hips square for a moment. Press through your heels. Feel that extra stretch here again. Keeping the shoulders where they are. Lift just the right hip. So the toes are going to lift a little higher. You can bend at the knee if you like here. Keep pressing the chest back. Pressing the left heel down. Releasing that, we're going to take that right foot all the way forward into lunge. So however you get it there. Dropping the back knee, wiggling around into the hips a little bit. Bringing it so the toes forward so that the knee is over the ankle. And then sinking. Imagine pulling your legs toward each other here. So we're nice and square to the top of the mat. From here, take your right hand to your hip and add a little twist. Rotating the belly, side rib, shoulder. A little deeper into that twist, maybe. Release the twist. Take your leg straight. The right leg straight. You can always have the left knee off the mat as well to bump it up a little bit. Bend at the knee again. Sink nice and low into the hips, maybe a little lower than before. Still that idea of pulling the legs toward each other. We're going to climb up on the thigh here. So sometimes as the upper body comes up, the hips want to come. Put them in now. And then lifting the chest. You can press away from the leg to open into a little bit of a back bend. You can use the arms, either interlacing the fingers behind your back, taking cactus, or extending alongside the ears. Gently release what you got here. Come up off the back knee. Step this right foot back and up to our three-legged dog again. And then see about keeping it away from the floor. Slide forward into a three-legged plank. Hold. Back to three-legged dog. And then release the right foot. All right, so you know where we're going. Lift the left leg. Again, hips stay square. Open the hip. Bend at the knee. Straighten the leg, square the hips, and step the left foot through for our lunge. Dropping the right knee, adjusting your foot, wiggle around into your hips a little bit on this side. And then finding that center as if you are pulling the legs toward each other. We're going to leave the right hand where it is, bring the left hand to the hip and twist here. And then release the twist. Take your left leg straight. Fish. Prop, of course, if you need to prop, lift the back knee if it's not intense enough. Bend back at the knee. Sink a little lower. And then stay nice and square here. Hands on the floor, hands up to the thigh, maybe. Keep lifting the chest. And then you'll do what you will with your arms. So either just pressing away from the thigh to lift the chest, and releasing behind the back, overhead, whatever makes you happy here. And then releasing it. Lift your right knee, slide the left foot back and up for a three-legged dog. Keep the toes away from the floor and slide forward for three-legged plank. Hips are square, belly's working. Back to three-legged dog. Releasing and making your way into your child's pose again. Back to down dog. We'll walk the feet forward and come into a standing fold. So bringing your toes all the way up to your fingers. Feet are hip bone distance apart. Spread your toes wide like we do with our fingers, right? And then pressing down into the four corners of the floor. Keeping the shoulders together on the back. Try not to round here, so if the hands don't touch the floor, don't worry about that. Go ahead and bring the hands to the thighs, even if you can touch the floor, and come halfway up, so parallel-ish to the floor. Belly's working. Hands can stay on the thighs here if they need to for the support, or maybe just kind of squeeze down the sides of the body here, the upper body, palms facing the floor. Go ahead and bend into the knees, come through chair. And with an inhale, stretch to the ceiling. And release the arms. We're going to take that back bend standing here. So if you'd like, you can always support your hands on your lower back if you feel the need. We can have the fingers interlaced behind the lower back like we did earlier. You can take that cactus arms or the arms extending, and you can change anytime you want. So start where you want to start. If it isn't exactly where you want to be, change the arms. So pressing down into the four corners of the feet, that little tuck of the tailbone, right? Keep your lower back nice and long. We don't want to smush it. Right? Extending tall through the spine. Shoulders are down and back, whether your fingers are interlaced, you've got cactus, or they're extended. Okay? From here, imagine lifting the sternum, your chest up toward the ceiling, so that that's space and length, and then you move into your back bend. Tucking the chin, try not to let your chin jut out. And adjusting. So maybe once you've been here a little moment, you can move a little deeper. But keeping exactly what you've already set. So your feet four corners, your hips over your ankles, your tailbone tucked, your spine nice and long, your shoulders back, your chin tucked. One more nice big breath wherever you are. And gently with an inhale, make your way back to neutral. Release your arms. All right. So hands back to the thighs, support as much as you need. Coming forward into your half fold and just holding for a moment. And then all the way over into your full fold. From here, a little bend in the knees. We're going to roll up through the spine, all the way to standing. All right. So a nice big step back with your left foot. We're going to start off in a warrior two here. So right toes point toward the top, left toes are tucked in a little bit. This heel is in line with the left instep. Bending into the knee, make sure you see your right big toe, and just your right big toe. Ideally, this right thigh is parallel to the floor, but that might not be your reality. Hips are parallel to the floor, right? Jutted. And the arms also parallel to the floor. Looking out over the right fingertips. Press down evenly into the feet. Make it even work for your legs. Kind of anyway. From here, let's take that left hand to the back of the left thigh. Turn the right palm toward the ceiling and reach up. But then see about dropping the right shoulder back down. The hand is still reaching up. The shoulders are pretty neutral on the back. Pull them together a little bit more. Open and lift the chest. Maybe looking up. Back to warrior two. Right arm is going to bend, bringing the forearm to the thigh and the left arm over the ear. So a nice long line from these left fingertips to the left heel. Dropping into the hips if they'll go. Or if they don't. And then release that over into your lunge again. So up on the back toes, you can absolutely drop the left knee here again. But maybe this time, keep it straight. And then take your right leg straight. Here, press your right hip back, but imagine pulling your legs toward each other. Right? As if you could move them in opposite directions. Shoulders back, spine long. bend back into the knee. And then instead of, if you're not already, come up off that back knee for a second. And then instead of just dropping the left knee, roll forward over those toes and then drop the knee. So here you're gonna have your left knee a little forward of your ankle, which we don't do when we're standing up, but we're gonna stand up. So see if you can sink that right heel into the floor. At the same time, you're dropping your hips toward the floor. Imagine pulling your legs toward each other so you're nice and square. And then stay really low, right? Keep those hips nice and low, just like we did before. Coming up on the thigh, lifting the chest, taking the fingers to interlace behind your back or overhead, right? Adding in that little bit of a back bend. So feeling it more through the left hip flexor, quad, maybe someplace else for you. One more nice big breath. And then gently release what you got. Roll back over your toes for your lunge. Take the hands and block your hands into the center, straddle. So wider or more narrow, whatever you need. Toes point forward. And then let yourself just hang out, right? Nice and loose, relaxed. Maybe a bend in the knee. Maybe grab opposite elbow. Whatever you need. And then coming back here, turn your right toes in a little bit if they're not already. Turn your left toes toward the back of your mat, bending into that knee. And when you lift your upper body, you should be pretty close to where you want to be for warrior two. And if you're not, make your adjustments. Too wide, too narrow, whatever. Sink into the hips, keep them level to the floor, extending the arms.